everyone. Welcome once again to our CXO podcast by CsuiteXchange and Asia CEO community. And obviously the man behind organizing everything, Gary. Thank you for getting all these wonderful speakers. I know that our members really appreciate all the wonderful content that we have, and especially now in this day and age that is just so easy to learn online, to get other people's experiences. We are very, very grateful. My name is Yamilette. As you know, I'm your host for season 3, and this is our episode 4. And we have a speaker that it's in between places. As a lot of us, you may relate, he is based in Hong Kong, but also traveling to Switzerland. He's from Eastern Europe, but also Germany. So he has all of this mix to his background that is very important to manage, to lead, and to grow a business. And the topic that we have today, it's also very different from previous topics because I personally have to say, I'm not very versed into this asset distressed shares and stuff that he does. So we are very, very happy to learn from him and to get more understanding behind what it takes, as I said, to grow such a business in this world. So please welcome here on our online stage, whatever you are listening from or watching us on YouTube, morning, evening, or afternoon, we have Oleg G. He is the Chief Executive Officer at Crassula Assets, Hong Kong Limited. And as I said before, what they do is they're a global specialist, acquired and manager of distressed assets portfolios in Central and Eastern Europe. How are you, Oleg?
Everything great. Thank you, Yamilette. Appreciate it. That's fantastic intro. Firstly, I'd like to say thanks, Gary, for making this platform and, the team behind you there sitting, listening, watching. Thanks. Yamilette, well, from where shall we start? Give me a guide.
We would like to know more or less your background, Oleg. As I said, we were just chatting backstage, and that's how I know that you are all of these coming and going and traveling, and you have such a diverse background that I'm sure impacts what you're doing today. So why don't you tell us more about yourself? How did you start in this business, and what are you doing at the moment?
Originally, I'm pure entrepreneur, and for the last, let me see, it's 15 as I calculate now. Soon it will be around 16 years. I'm presented in Asia with 11 years background in Beijing, and it's 5 years in Hong Kong. Being traveling all the time between Hong Kong and Switzerland, between Hong Kong and Germany, between Asia and Europe, I was able to unite with my current partners and create this non-performing loans portfolios, non-performing loan fund, which is basing on the real estate, acquiring real estate or assets backed by real estate from different European banks.
Have you ever been in this industry, or did you start?
Yeah, well, it's not that I started when I was in kindergarten, definitely. So when firstly I came to China, I established my logistics company. It was focusing on transportation of different goods from Asia to Eastern Europe to former USSR countries. And that was pretty successful. Doing this business, I was able to introduce another product to my customers, or service, let's call it, as a factoring business. So we were able to buy invoices with discounts and help, let's call it, kind of financial service to our customers, that they were able to pay to the factories without freezing their own money for a longer period. So we were giving let's say, not credits, but helping in finance to them. On the later stages, 4 years ago, me and my partners from Switzerland, we decided to unite our forces, and we create this non-performing loan fund based in Luxembourg. And originally, my team, they have 13 years experience on that market, doing this NPL business. And I was, well, thanks to them, they were generous enough to invite me to their business. So I became shareholder, then I became operational officer there, and currently my duty there is to attract investors and promote the products in Asia, specifically in Hong Kong and China mainland. And in China, in Hong Kong, we are presented as two companies. So originally the company is Linkscape Investments, which sits in Switzerland. And in Hong Kong, it is presented by Crassula Assets HK Limited, the one which you just mentioned. It's an operational company. And Linkscape Investments Asia, that's a newly acquired company with a Type 9 license, asset management license. So we're a reporting company to SFC. And basing on these two companies, we're creating a new fund in Hong Kong in order to, let's call it as a platform for local investors. When I'm saying local, I mean China mainland and Chinese Hong Kong. And that's a platform to attract people to invest into our fund in Luxembourg with the diverse markets we are working at.
Super, thank you for that. And I'm sure our audience, you're very, very knowledgeable and you may understand about distressed assets, but can you, for those who may not know exactly all the details behind these distressed assets, can you explain a little bit more for us?
Absolutely. Allow me to do it in a pretty simple way. So we have a commercial, let's say, company. The company decided to take a loan from the bank. And this loan used mortgage, let's call it, or a loan, which used to build a commercial building. Let's say it's an office building or it's a hotel. And after for example, it was built and then business goes not very well for that company. And bank takes over this asset, the property. So a bank generate portfolios with such assets, which are called distressed assets. So bank need to get rid of that to get as much possible from the provided loan. And usually it's done on the closed auctions. So the banks provide, they introduce auctions where bidders can, play or bid and take over this or that portfolio. And this is what we're doing. We're taking over that portfolio. We perform it, which means we invest money to make it, let's say, this or that asset better, and then we rent it out or we sell it. That's it. So that's simple as it is. The hard point here is that in Asia, not everyone knows how to enter European market. And that's why actually we create this platform in Asia as a bridge to European market.
Yeah, adding value to the challenges we may see here in Asia. Because of the global situation at the moment, are you seeing more companies trading at distressed levels because of the sanctions or the inability to normally trade?
I'd say, let me answer it a little bit different, not directly answering your question. It will be indirect answer. We see more opportunities for us because
Okay.
more and more distressed assets appears on the market. So we are on that position that it's bad to say what I will say, but it's a very good time for entering the market. Usually the lowest point of instability is a good entrance point for us.
Okay.
Is it answer your question?
Yes, I know. We also have to be quite cautious in that. I just was wondering if because of these political issues that more companies are getting into that situation of being in a distressed level, or it's not really affecting them too much in Eastern Europe.
No, it is definitely affected, especially Eastern Europe, in terms of let's say the markets are cautious right now. They're not sure what's going on, but look, as I said, the team has the experience of 13 years, and we see in our historical performance during the serious economical troubles around the world, we see how to react and we see where to enter.
So reacting, adapting, being flexible is one of the main points.
True, absolutely. That will be the main point. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You're saying you don't understand how it works. No, you know, perfect.
Well, there's always things to learn. I also want to know, like, how can you extract the value of these companies? Because again, going back, and I don't want to dwell on restrictions or geopolitical situations, but how your competitive advantage as a company and with your team with so much experience is to extract value of these distressed assets. Can you tell us how do you do it? Is there any specific tricks or pointers that you want to share with our audience about this added value?
Well, there are no tricks. It's pretty simple. Most important way how we work with our partners and what gives us success. We are transparent. We are honest. I do believe that everyone's saying that, you will not see any entrepreneur, company, or politically exposed person who would say, no, we are not honest and buy our product. No, you will not see it. But people feel it. People feel truth. So we never exaggerate our potential. We just show once again, basing on the historical data, collected historical data by our performance, how it works. So transparency and being honest, that's probably the main trick here.
That's such a great point, because I'm sure a lot of people always think about financial institutions or non-financial institutions are popping up now, that there's something at the back, right, that they're not telling us, and the trust is very hard to build. So I'm sure that's why you have this great portfolio and such a great presence in the market. You were talking about opportunities, and I love the fact that you were very positive and pivot my question more into the positive side rather than the negative. But there's also challenges. So what are the opportunities versus the challenges that you are seeing now in this market?
Well, opportunities we already discussed. It's just being on the right edge of the time when to entering the market. Challenges to convince people, convince investors, convince partners that this or that is the right moment, because the challenge for us is to promote this kind of product which we offer in Asia. Firstly, because we promote the product which, let's say, sits in Europe, and it's pretty far away. Well, okay, it's let's say 9 hours flying away. It was before the COVID and quarantine. Now it's 9 hours flying and 2 weeks quarantine if we fly from Europe to Asia. But yeah, that will be a challenge to help people understand what is the product, why it's so far away, why people should invest or shouldn't invest, and the easiest answer will be European environment in terms of economic environment, stability of the currency. If you compare it with other markets, it's most stable market in general. We're not talking about the situation which happening for the last 2-3 weeks. We see the prices skyrocketing for gas, oil, other commodities, but that's temporary. That's why we're not offering the product as an investment for 2-3 weeks. On average, the life duration of the investment instrument, investment assets or portfolio is 3 to 5 years. And this is horizon during which everything gets much more stable after serious economical bumps.
If I'm a new investor, because I'm sure a seasoned investor who understands these flows and they will not get stressed about this perhaps geopolitical situations that happened and they're not going to impact in the long run my asset. But if I'm an entrepreneur, I would like to invest in one of your portfolios, and I really obviously rely on your advice because I don't know where to go. But how do you make the entrepreneurs or anyone new in the market understand this, that it's more so looking at the long run and not only seeing the details that are in front of us, but the details that we can see as a holistic view? How do you approach the situation when you may get someone that it's not very seasoned in this industry?
If I understand you correctly, you mean your question is what is the positive point if you look into the horizon, if you look into the perspective?
How can your team help someone that it's new in the ecosystem?
All right, so definitely you have to compare with other traditional products, let's say bonds, corporate bonds, stocks, simple real estate investment when you buy apartment somewhere and you're expecting to sell it in 5-10 years or 15 years. Well, definitely it's again 5 years, and you compare it with product which we promote. So once again, being a distressed asset, that means you get into that product, you get this product, you get this asset on a cheap price, and again, basing on the retrospective data, you see when to exit this deal and what you can get on. So we always show the previous data and we adopt it into the reality. That's how we try to promote and convince.
So from what I'm hearing is data is super important in your line of business.
The historical data and the track record, I'd say.
This is very important because, as we say, not all of us understand 100%, and having a partner like you and your team to be able to digest all of this data for us, it's incredible. So members, you know now, if you're looking into a good investment in Central and Eastern Europe, I'm going to quote you, Oleg. You say that with the business and the work that you do, you are seeking for different innovations, creating synergy. What is this? Yeah. What does that mean? Like, can you give us an example of successful synergies that you've done with innovation?
With innovation, I'd like you to let's say rephrase your question, because when you're saying innovation, in which way? Being entrepreneur is what kind of innovation you can create or promote when you meet people. And my duty is to meet people and make people see the reality and feel comfortable before they're making decision, and with their decision also, and give them security. How can you give any? So that will be my question to you. How would you even expect to give any innovation? There is no innovation in honesty and trust, right? There is nothing. So would you maybe I don't understand correct. Maybe you would say a different way.
I was just going back to what you say, and you quote that you always look synergies that are looking for different innovations. So does that mean that you want to have a synergy or to create a relationship with your clients in the innovation space, or you want to be innovative enough to give them that certainty and trust so they can be happy with the results, and not innovation by creating a technology, but perhaps your approach, as you were saying, being honest, being transparent, something that perhaps some of the financial institutions haven't always been great at. So that could be a side of utilizing your soft skills in an innovative way. So would it be more that you're seeking synergies in the innovation space, or you're seeking to utilize different approaches to create those synergies?
Allow me to answer it in this way. I wouldn't agree, and I wouldn't use the word innovation here, especially in terms of synergy. The core idea here is people working with people, and once again, you cannot create anything more than trust and honesty, and that's what moves the deal. That's what helps to create synergy. And synergy in case of my business, it will be sitting with you as a client, understand well your needs, show from my side to show you what we have, and there will be a synergy in agreeing or disagree. You would say, yes, I'm interested because, well, it gives me safety, security, it increases my financial status, let's say. And from the other hand, you could say, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 100, 200% profit in 2 weeks. So I'm a risk taker. I'm willing to do, well, doesn't matter what, and I'm ready to risk. And that will be a synergy, because I would say, you're absolutely right, and I'm not your product. So that will be also a synergy. So there is no specific innovation. I can say that there are some innovations in our product, specifically in the product, but that nothing to do with the synergy.
So what are these innovations in the product that you can share with us?
The way how we able to
hello.
satisfy. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're back.
Yeah. Yep. All right. No. Well, I heard you perfectly, and nothing happened. So innovation in our product is that we give a little bit higher return with a much safer rate if you compare it with the traditional instruments on the European market.
Okay.
Safest, legally protected market. And these innovations are, it's funny, now I want to use this innovation with the synergy. This innovation, I would say it's more uniqueness. It's not even innovation. It's a unique product that we were focusing on. We created product, and the barriers to enter that market from, let's say, for others participants, it's much more higher for them. So we're already on the market, and we've been playing at the bridge. So I hope it answers somehow your question.
Yeah, no, we're going back.
I was trying to make it very, how to say, more politically right answering that question. So I'm trying to be very careful on the wording.
No, that
because
is perfect.
I guess a lot of people watching us. Yeah.
No, we totally understand, and that's fair enough. But we're going back, and you're right. All of the new ideas you can bring forward, this safety net in your product, it's because, I guess, your strategic partnership that you have with the financial institutions or maybe legal institutions that allow you to be one of the first options for investments in Europe and Central Europe and Eastern Europe, giving your clients that security and that perhaps lower rate. Is it correct? It has to do also with all those partnerships that you create.
I'd say yes. It's once again, it's about trustworthy. It's not like you cannot come out from the street to the shop and say, well, I want to take this and that. It's not working like that. Definitely, it's all about partnership. So money is all about partnership.
And now here you are connecting two things. We spoke about data, how important data it is for you and for your clients, but also the human side, the human capital with this partnership building relationships and expanding network. And that's why we're also very, very grateful that you are sharing this with our network and our community here at Asia CO. What's coming next in this time, COVID times, pandemic? Travel has changed. I'm sure the view in investment and how people want to do this it's also changing. So what are some of the next steps that yourself and your team are taking, or is there any exciting projects in the upcoming future that you can share with us?
So firstly, it's crucial to state that markets are overflowed with money. Let's say the potential investors that sits on the money, they are not sure because of the COVID, firstly, for the last 2 years. And then this crisis in Europe, which is happening right now. And the whole world is affected by this crisis. And definitely money are there. People looking for the opportunities where to put it, to save it. So right now it's mostly about to save money, not to multiply it, just to keep the real value of that money, not to lose the real value of that money, I'd say. And that's why the Hong Kong fund which I mentioned just briefly at the beginning, will be launched in the next 2-3 months in Hong Kong. It's a little bit hard for me to do it while I'm sitting here in Europe, because, I used to travel with my family, but I have small kids, and going to Hong Kong and just in case if someone, get positive, then these things about separation, I don't want to discuss it. It's not comfortable for anyone. Understandable, but not comfortable. So I'm postponing my return to Hong Kong until end of August. But meanwhile, my team in Hong Kong, they're trying hard to finalize the fund which we're making there. That will be another new product, kind of new product for Hong Kong. Real estate backed fund with potential bridging to fund in Luxembourg.
That sounds very interesting. If someone here in Hong Kong, any of our members in Hong Kong wants to get in touch, who do they contact? Do they get in touch directly with you, Oleg, or is there anybody specifically in your team?
Well, definitely, if anyone wants to contact me directly, that's easy to do. You guys have my contact. Regarding the, we have a team on the ground. We sit at the Central, at the Cano Road, beautiful group tower. And my team is there, so we're always open to answer all the questions and meet people.
We really appreciate that openness and the support that you're giving our. I know we can talk forever about these situations and try to explain more why people should look into these assets and the products, but I want to know, what's the main idea, the main objective, or the main point that you would like to tell our audience? Let's say advice and how to look into the investment in the future, or anything else that you want to add on in regards of the company or the team or the projects that you are working on. Anything you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I'd say it's not just sharing or giving advices. I can just wish everyone to keep its own stamina and stay positive, because it's everything what's happening right now is temporary in terms of crisis, but everything will be back on track.
What about the business side?
Well, that's definitely about business side, what I'm saying, because I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's on the distance of my hand.
I love that quote. The light at the end of the tunnel is the distance of my hand. And again, that was so honest and so transparent that it's showing us right away, community, that obviously Oleg and his team and everything they're working on, it's supported by transparency, honesty. The main goal is to keep you and your assets safe. And as you were saying, it's very interesting that you said that it's at the moment, it's to look at it in a different light, not only the growth or the multiplication of our assets, but keeping them safe is the one of the main things, if I may take from our conversation.
That's true. This is how I feel. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No.
But that's really true. This is how I see the impression on what's going on. You can get by meeting people. As more people you meet, more your vision and understanding getting wider. And what I see, and I'm meeting a lot of people from different countries, even now during COVID, it looks like I'm traveling more than before. People thinking about to save, to preserve, and
And I want to add, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but also we would like our audience and our members to see that there's no point to being fearful about something that perhaps we don't understand, like investing in distressed assets, but there's a lot of opportunity. So instead of fearing, just by hearing these words, distressed assets, I should be just going through traditional products. No, there's a lot of opportunity, and Oleg here and his team will make you feel safe. We go back to that word and guide you through the whole journey, I'm sure.
True. That's correct.
Super. Well, if there's anything else that you want to add, Oleg, I know you are also very busy. We appreciate your time and you're giving to our community. But if not, we have more speakers later on in this season 3 of the CXO podcast. This was episode 4, very interesting, talking about distressed assets with Oleg in London. And hopefully we can see you in Hong Kong very, very soon and also do it face to face.
Thank you very much, Yamilette. That was great. Well, in August, I'll be back. So definitely I'll be happy to meet you guys in person. And thanks to Gary once again of making these sessions when we're able to meet our groups by groups, maybe a larger number of groups can meet. But yeah, see you soon.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Asia CEO community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you soon next time.